Listen to 537 requesting lineup out of South Area.
37 out of South Area lineup is granted. Callback Chambers.
Copy, Chambers.
5062 is at Chambers Street.
5062 Chambers, that is a copy. Punch for the local. Your next callback is 14th Street.
Copy.
Pearl Hall 513.
I-12 Clark.
512 at Clark, proceed to Wall Street. 513 at Pearl Hall, proceed to Clark.
Copy.
518 Nevins as a copy. Your next callback is Pearl Hall. .525 Crown Heights as a copy. Your next callback is Franklin Avenue.
.507-3 calling back on Wall Street.
507 Wall Street, that is a copy. Your next callback is Chambers. Is that a copy? Your Chambers?
Copy.
Clark Street 513 3 train.
513-3 at Clark, that is a copy. Please hold. The 512's in front of you in the tubes.
Rail Control, this is the 5013 train, new lots to 148. We're at 23rd Street, 7th Avenue.
501 23rd, that is a copy. Your next callback is 34th Penn Station.
74 for 34th Street, Penn Station.
The 531-3 trains at Sutter Avenue, Rutland Road.
31 Sutter Avenue, Rutland Road, that is a copy. Your next callback is Nostrand Avenue.
10-4.
.525, your callback is Franklin Avenue. Yeah.
This is 519-3, this is calling back at Atlantic Avenue.
519 Atlantic, that is a copy. Your next callback is Hoyt.
Copy.
12 is at Wall.
512 Wall Street is a copy. Your next callback is Park Place. 513 Holden at Clark, proceed to roll.
Copy.
Listen to 537-1 at Chambers Street.
537 at Chambers, that is a copy. Your next callback is Canal Street.
Control, this is the 5013 train, new lots to 148. We're at 34th Street, Penn Station, pushing for local.
5013 34 Penn Station, that is a copy. Please hold. The 500 gets called back Times Square.
Confo, hold it.
This is the 502 train calling back at Times Square.
500 Times Square, that is a copy. Call back 72nd.
Let's go.
501, you may disregard the hold. Your next callback is 50th Street.
94 for 50th Street.
507 calling back at Chambers.
507 at Chambers, that is a copy. I'm going to hold you for a minute because one just recently departed Chambers in front of you.
President 543-1, South Ferry to 242nd, radio check.
543, radio check loud and clear.
10-4.
Clark. 518-2 at Clark, that is a copy. Proceed with caution to Wall Street.
Copy. This is the
512 is at
Park
Place.
Okay, 537 at Canal Street, proceed to Christopher.
Copy.
507 holding at Chambers, proceed to Canal Street.
President 543-1, South Ferry to 242nd, requesting line about South Ferry.
543, your line is granted, your next callback's Chambers.
10-4.
513, 3 train calling out Wall Street.
513 Wall Street, proceed to Park Place. 512 Park Place, proceed to Chambers.
This is 519-3, Hoyt.
519 Hoyt, that is a copy. Your next callback is Park Street.
Copy, Clark.
Route 25 through train Franklin Avenue, that is a copy. Your next callback is Atlantic Avenue, Barclays Center. Five 18 control, normal speed through the tubes, call back Wall Street.
Rail control, this is the 5013 train, new lots 148. We're at 50th Street, 7th Avenue.
5013 train, 50th, there's a copy, and that's call back 66th Street, Lincoln Center.
9-4 for 66th Street, Lincoln Center.
512 is at Chambers.
512 Chambers, that is a copy, your next callback is your next stop, Franklin Street.
Park Place 513.
513 Park Place has a copy, proceed to your next stop, Chambers.
Park 31-3 trains at Nostrand Avenue.
Not 31 Nostrum, proceed to your next stop, Franklin Avenue.
507 calling back. Crap, where am I?
This is the
Canal?
537
Yes.
at Christopher Street.
537 Christopher, that is a copy. Please hold the 506 Jets callback at 14th Street.
14th Street.
506 14th callback Times Square 42nd.
Copy.
537 disregard the hold at Christopher. Proceed. Your next callback is 23rd Street.
Copy 23rd.
507 Canal Street.
07 Canal, that is a copy. Your next callback is Christopher.
518 2 Street. Hold on.
Copy.
518 Wall Street, that is a copy. Your next callback is Park Place.
Franklin Street for the 512.
512 Franklin, that is a copy. Your next callback is Houston.
That's a copy.
This is 519-3, calling back to Clark.
Chambers Street 513.
519-3 at Clark, you may proceed. Call back at Wall Street.
Copy for Wall.
513 Chambers, that is a copy. Call back at your next stop, Franklin Street.
There's a copy.
This is the 502 train calling back at 72nd.
502 72nd at the top. Your next callback's 96th Street.
It's got it.
Rail control, this is the 5013 train, new lots 148. We're at 66th Street, Lincoln Center.
501-66 has a copy. Your next callback's 86.
Time for 86th Street, 7th Avenue.
Breaking Avenue.
531-3 Franklin Avenue. Your next callback is Bergen Street. The 513 at Franklin Street. Your next callback is your next stop, Canal Street.
543 1 South Ferry to 242nd, calling back at Chambers Street.
543 at Chambers. That is a copy. Your next callback is Franklin. Your next stop.
Time for
518 2 train, Park Place.
518 Park Place. That is a copy. Your next callback is your next stop, Chambers.
Copy.
.507 Christopher Street.
507 Christopher. That is a copy. Your next callback is 18th Street.
Copy.
525 Atlantic Barclays. That is a copy. Your next callback is Clark Street. 49 out of South Ferry is a copy. Your next callback is Chambers.
This 519-3 calling back at Wall.
519 Wall Street. That is a copy. Your next callback is Park Place.
543 1 South Ferry to 242nd, calling back at Franklin Street.
543 Franklin. That is a copy. Your next callback is next stop, Canal Street.
512 is at Houston.
Alright, 512 at Houston. Your next callback's 14th. 537 23rd. Your next callback's 34th Street, Penn Station.
513 Canal Street.
13 Canal. Your next callback's Christopher.
Got it.
518 2 train, Chambers.
518 2 at Chambers. That is a copy. Your next callback is your next stop, Franklin Street.
Copy.
To the 543 1 South Ferry to 242nd, calling back at Canal Street.
543 at Canal. That is a copy. I'm going to hold you for 30 seconds because you were right behind 513 free train.
Time for
Rail Control, this is the 5013 train, new lots to 148, calling back at 86th Street, 7th Avenue.
501-86. That is a copy. I'm going to hold you for a minute because the 500 gets called back at 96.
Time for hold it.
Park Place for the 519-3.
519 Park Place. Proceed to your next stop, Chambers.
507 calling back at 18th Street.
507 18th. That is a copy. Your next callback is 28th Street.
Copy.
5062 is at Times Square 42nd.
506 Times Square. That is a copy. Your next callback is 72nd Street.
Copy.
518 to Franklin. That is a copy. Please hold. There is a train in front of you holding. 543 at Canal. Proceed to your next stop, Houston.
time for
This is 500 calling back at
34th Street.
Okay, 537 34th Street, Penn Station. Your next callback's 59th Street, Columbus Circle. 596. Proceed to your next stop, Central Park North.
Let's go.
The 501 holding at 86. Proceed to 96.
Time for 96th Street, 7th Avenue.
518 at Franklin. 518 at Franklin, proceed to Canal Street.
519-3 is at Chambers.
519 Chambers, please hold. 513 Christopher, proceed to your next stop, 14th Street.
531 3 train.
512 14th Street, proceed to 23rd Street.
531 is at Bergen.
31 at Bergen, proceed to Borough Hall. Okay, the 519 holding a chamber, you may proceed, call back. Franklin.
Copy, Franklin.
Two 543, 1 South Ferry to 242nd, coming back at Houston Street.
43 Houston, proceed to your next stop, Christopher.
Trevor.
Southern calling back to 28th.
Okay, the 507 at 28th. Your next callback is Times Square. The 549 at Chambers, please hold. A 3 train just crossed local track in front of you.
513, 15th Street.
512, your callback was 34th Street, Penn Station.
14th Street.
Someone else calling back?
14th Street, 513.
513, please hold. 518 to Canal Street, that is a copy. Proceed to your next stop, Houston.
519-3 is at Franklin.
519 Franklin, that is a copy. Proceed to your next stop, Canal.
Copy, Canal.
Ground control, this is the 501 train. No loss of 8 Brad. 96 from 7th Avenue, pushing for Lenox.
501 96, that is a copy. Please hold the 500, you have to call back at 110th.
10-4, hold on.
549 at Chambers, proceed to your next stop, Franklin.
543, 1 South Ferry to 242nd, coming back at Christopher Street, JrrrMt.
543 at Christopher, that is a copy. Proceed with caution to 14th Street. 513, holding at 14th Street. Your next call back is 23rd Street.
That's a copy.
$555, 1 train, are you ready to depart South Ferry?
Yes.
55, that is a copy. Your next callback is Chambers.
This is the 502 train calling back at 110th.
500, 110th, that is a copy. Next callback is 135th. 501, proceed to 110th.
Control the Central Park North, 110.
518-2 at Houston, that is a copy. Proceed to your next stop, Christopher.
49
49 Franklin or Canal? Callback was Franklin.
Wait. I'm at Franklin. Not Franklin. No, God damn it. Canal.
Okay, 549, yeah, the callback was Franklin, not Canal.
543, 1 South Ferry to 242nd, coming back at 14th Street.
Give me a second. 519 at Canal Street. Your next callback is your next stop, Houston.
Copy.
513 and 543 rather, 14th Street. Your next callback is 18th Street. Your next stop.
Listen to 537.
507 calling back at Times Square.
507 Times Square, 42nd. Your next callback is 50th Street. Your next stop.
Copy.
23rd Street for the 13-5, or 13-3.
513-3, 23rd. That is a copy. Please hold, waiting for the 512 to get call back.
Copy.
Listen to 537 at 59.
Oh, everyone's 12-1 for a second. Is that 549?
Permission to depart Franklin.
Okay, 549, good. You were at Franklin. You can depart. Your next callback is Canal Street. 537, 59th Street, Columbus Circle. Your next callback is 66th Street, Lincoln Center. Next stop.
Copy for 66.
518 2 train, Christopher Street.
518-2 at Christopher, that is a copy. Proceed to 14th.
This is the 543 1 South Ferry to 242nd, calling back at 18th Street.
543 18th, proceed to 23rd. 513 at 23rd, 28th.
512 is 34th.
512 34th Street, Penn Station, that is a copy. Your next callback is 50th Street.
This is 593 at Houston.
519 at Houston, that is a copy. Proceed to your next stop. Christopher.
507 50th Street.
0750 if your next callback's 59th Street, Columbus Circle.
Copy.
5062 is at 72nd.
506 72nd, that is a copy. Your next callback's 96th Street.
Copy.
Rail Control, this is the 5013 train, new lots to 148. We're at Central Park North, 110th Street.
501 110th, that is a copy. Your next callback is 125th Street.
10 for 125, Lennox.
This is the
28th
537
Street,
66th Street.
Alright, 537 66. Your next callback is 79th Street.
This is the 543.
Hold on, one at a time, please. 525 at Clark Street. Your next callback is Wall Street. Your next stop.
This is the 543 1 South Ferry to 242nd, call back at 23rd Street.
543 23rd, that is a copy. Please hold. The 513 gets called back at 28.
10-4.
Not called back by second again.
Alright, 549 are at Canal Street. Proceed to Houston.
The 531 3 trains at Borough Hall.
31 Borough Hall. Proceed to your next stop, Clark Street. 514 28. Your next callback is Times Square 42nd. 507 Columbus Circle as a copy. Your next callback is 72nd.
This is the 502 train calling back at 135th Street, punch for the Bronx.
502 135th, that is a copy. Proceed, your next callback is 149 Grand Concourse.
That's the copy.
518 2 train, 14th Street.
518-2 at 14th, that is a copy. Your next callback is 23rd Street.
543 1 South Ferry to 242nd.
This is
Can
the
you leave 23rd?
537
That's, yes,
72nd Street.
Alright, 543. You may proceed, callback 34th Street, Penn Station.
10-4.
537, 72nd, your next callback is 86.
55 is at Chambers.
555 Chambers, you may proceed. Your next callback is Canal Street.
6 o'clock, agree to depart South Ferry.
600, you may depart South Ferry. Your next callback is Chambers.
This is 519-3 at Christopher.
519 Christopher, proceed to 14th.
Copy for Christopher. 14.
49 at Houston.
49 Houston, proceed to Christopher.
Rail Control, this is the 5013 train, new lots to 148. We're at 125th Street, Lennox.
501, that is a copy of full line to your last stop, Harley 148. Call back there.
10 for 148, we'll push to the lineup.
531 Clark Street, that is a copy. Proceed with caution through the tubes. Your next callback is Wall Street.
12 is at 50th.
512 50th, your next callback is 66th Street, Lincoln Center. You got a copy for 66 512.
It's 10-4.
518 2 train, 23rd Street.
518 2 train, 23rd, your next callback's 28th.
Copy.
This is the 502 train calling back at 149 Grand Concourse.
502 149 Grand Concourse, that is a copy. Your next callback is Intervale Avenue.
2nd Street for the 13.
513 42nd, that is a copy. Your next callback's your next stop 50th.
543 1 South Ferry to 242nd, calling back at 34th Street, Penn Station.
513 34th, that is a copy. Your callback's your next stop, Times Square 42nd.
10-4.
507 calling back 72nd Street, sorry.
525 Wall Street, your next callback is Chambers. 507 at 72nd, your next callback is 79th Street, your next stop.
549 Bristol first.
549 Christopher, your next callback is your next stop 14th Street.
That 96.
506 96, that is a copy, your next callback is 110.
Copy.
55 is at Canal.
55 Canal Street as a copy, your next callback is your next stop Houston.
Copy.
518 2 train 28th Street.
518 28th, that is a copy, your next callback is your next stop 34th Street Penn Station.
Listed 537 1 and 86th Street.
537 86 as a copy, your next callback is your next stop 96.
50th Street for the 13-3 train.
13350, if that is a copy, your next callback is 66th Street Lincoln Center.
That's a copy.
$549, hold at your current location and waiting for a callback from the 519.
Sorry, sorry, cut off. Okay, so I reloaded back. Don't worry.
Where are you at? 519, proceed to 28.
This is the 543, 1 South Harris to 42nd, calling back at Times Square, 42nd Street.
43 Times Square, 42nd, that is a copy. Your next callback is 59th Street, Columbus Circle.
10-4.
507 calling back 29th.
Okay, hold on. 549, holding your current location. The 519 just departed a few seconds in front of you. The 507. Repeat your callback, 507.
79th Street and Broadway.
That's a copy, 507. Your next callback is your next stop, 86th Street.
12-66. Copy.
1266, your next callback is 72nd, your next stop.
The 531 3 train is at Wall Street.
513 Wall Street, your next callback is Park Place.
13-3 train coming about 59 Columbus.
Columbus Circle, your next callback 66, 513.
6 o'clock,
Listed
Chambers.
537 at 96th Street.
3796 Punch for Broadway, your next callback is 116th Columbia University.
Copy.
Houston for the
600
55.
at Chambers. Hold on, 600 at Chambers, your next callback is Houston.
Copy.
518 switch.
82 at 34th says copy, your next callback is your next stop Times Square. 519 28th Street.
Alright.
506 2 train is at 110.
Hold on, 549 through the 549 1 train, you may depart 14th Street. Next callback is 10 Street.
72nd.
72nd 512, your next callback is your next stop 79th.
506 calling back 96. 86, sorry.
506 86, proceed to 96 507.
66th Street Lincoln Center for the 13-3.
513, proceed to 72nd.
Houston for the
506, you will proceed to 506, proceed to 135th.
549, sure, 23rd and 28th, my next.
549, your next callback is 23rd.
2-3,
525, please hold the Chambers. There was a train that crossed in front of you.
Houston for the 55.
55 at Houston, that is a copy. Your next callback is Christopher.
Copy.
518 and 42nd, your next callback is 59th Street, Columbus Circle.
Rail control, this is the 501 3 train, lots 148 is terminated at the bottom 148 Street, Lennox Terminal.
501, that is a copy. Discharge your passengers, terminate your train. Thank you for your service. Have a good evening.
Time for you too.
531 3 trains at Park Place.
31 Park Place, please hold. There is a 3 train rather, at the station in front of you at Chambers. Holding.
72nd Street for the 13-3 train.
72nd, 513 as a copy. Next callback. It's your next stop.
76, 507 3.
507. Repeat your callback.
96.
That is a copy. Proceed on. Your next callback is Central Park North,
This is
110.
the 543 1 South Ferry to 242nd callback at 59th Street, Columbus Circle.
543, that is a copy. Your next callback's your next stop, 66.
This is the 512 departing 79th Street.
512 79th, that is a copy. Your next callback is 86.
Copy.
49 at 23rd.
549 at 23rd, your next callback is your next stop, 28th Street.
Christopher for the
519 28th, your next callback's your next stop, 34th Street, Penn Station, 519.
This is the 502 train going ahead. Dale Ave.
Alright, 500 interval, your next callback's East 180th.
Let's go.
525, you may proceed, your next callback is Canal Street. 531, you may proceed, your next callback's Chambers.
The clock house.
6 o'clock, Houston, that is a copy. Proceed to your next stop, Christopher. 555, Christopher, proceed to 14.
Copy.
79th Street for the 13-3 train.
86 for the 512.
13 and 79th, your next callback is 86.
Copy.
543 1 South Ferry to 242nd callback at 66th Street, Lincoln Center.
Repeat 512.
512 is at 86.
512, 86, proceed to 96. 543, Lincoln Center. 543, go to 72nd.
Time for
537, 116th, your next callback is 137 City College.
49 at 28th.
49, 28th Street, that is a copy. Your next callback is 34th Street, Penn Station.
Proceed with caution.
With caution, yes. 519. Did you try to call back?
I was trying to call back at Penn Station.
That's cop, proceed to Times Square.
Copy Times Square.
531 3 trains out on Chambers.
31 Chambers to copy. I'm going to hold you for 30 seconds because the 28.5 just crossed in front of you.
That's the clock, Christopher.
518 Columbus Circle, proceed to 66th Street. 600 at Christopher. I'm going to hold you there because the 555 you have to call back at 14th.
14th Street for 555.
Okay, 555, 14th, your next callback is 23rd.
Copy.
600. Alright, 600, your next callback is 18th Street.
507 calling back Central Park North, 110.
Repeat your callback, 513.
507.
86, proceed to 96.
6.
507 calling back.
512, 90, hold on, 512, 96, proceed to 110th. The 507 at 110th, your next callback is 135th.
543 1 South Ferry to 242nd callback at 72nd Street.
543, 72nd, proceed to 79th.
Time for
549.
Hold on, okay. 525 at Canal Street, your next callback is Christopher. 531 holding at Chambers, your next callback is Houston. 549 34th Street, Penn Station, please hold because you're on 519.
519 is at Times Square.
519 Times Square, proceed to 59th Street, Columbus Circle.
That's Columbus.
Train, Lincoln Center.
506.
518 Lincoln Center, proceed to 72nd.
506.
Alright, 549 at 34th Street. Your next callback's 50th. 506, 135th. Proceed on your next callback's 149 Grand Concourse.
Copy.
96th Street, 13-3 train.
13-3 train 96, that is a copy. Please hold the 512s heading to 110th in front of you.
543 1 South Ferry to 242nd callback at 79th Street.
43 79th, proceed to 86.
Time for
1/3 for the 55.
55 23rd is a copy. Your next callback is 34th Street Penn Station.
Copy that.
Sector clock 18.
618th. Next callback is 28th.
Copy.
518 72nd, proceed to 79th. 513 at 96, and you're proceeding with caution. Let me know when you get to 110th.
How's it going?
I-12 is at 110th.
12 110th as a copy. Next callback's 125th.
That's a copy.
513, you may resume normal speed to 110th.
543-1, South Ferry to 242nd, come back at 86th Street.
43, that is a copy. Proceed to your next stop, 96.
This is the 537 at 137.
537, 137th, that is a copy. You call back at 181st. 525, Christopher Street, that is a copy. Your next callback is 18th Street. 518, 279th, proceeds to 86.
This is the 519 at 59 Columbus.
519 Columbus Circle, that is a copy. Proceed to 72nd.
Copy 72nd. Penn Station for the 55.
55 Penn Station, that is a copy. Your next callback is your next stop, Times Square.
Copy.
549 50th Street.
On the 555, your next callback's Times Square.
Copy that.
4950, if that is a copy. Your next callback is 66th Street, Lincoln Center.
7 calling back at 135.
6 o'clock.
525, your next callback is 18th Street, 18525. 600 at 28th, your next callback is your next stop, 34th Street, Penn Station.
Copy.
507, 135th, you may proceed to your last stop, Harlem 148. Call back there.
531 3 train is entering Houston.
531 at Houston, as a copy. Your next callback is 14th Street.
543-1, South Ferry to 242nd, come back at 96th Street.
543-96, that's a copy. Punch for Broadway. Your next callback's 137th Street, City College.
10-4.
This is the 502 train calling back at East 180. Punch for White Plains Road.
502 East 180, if that is a copy. Your next callback is Gun Hill Road.
Let's go.
518 2 train.
518-86 proceeds to 96.
Central Park North 110th Street for the 13-3 train.
513 110th, that is a copy. Your next callback is 125th Street.
Got it.
55 at Times Square.
6 o'clock.
555 Times Square, your next callback. 555 Times Square, your next callback is 59th Street, Columbus Circle. Your 34th Street, Penn Station, your next callback is 50th Street.
12 is at 125th.
12 125th, your next callback is your next stop, 135th. $525, how long do you need to go AFK? Because if it's over 5 minutes, just go out of service. Okay, then that's fine.
.506 is at 1.9 Grand Concourse.
506 149 Grand Concourse, that is a copy. Your next callback is Intervale Avenue.
Copy.
This is 519-3 calling back at 72nd.
519 72nd, that is a copy. Your next callback is 86th Street.
Copy
549 calling in at 66.
549 66, that is a copy. Your next callback is 79th Street. 518 96, that is a copy. Your next callback is Central Park North, 110.
Street, 512.
135th, that is a copy. You may punch for the Bronx. Your next callback is 149 Grand Concourse.
531 3 trees at 14th Street, 75.
531 14th, that is a copy. Your next callback is 28th Street.
On 25th Street for the 13-3 train.
13th through train 125th, that is a copy. You have the line up to Harlem 148, call back there.
That's a copy.
So, calling back at Lennox Terminal.
507 Harlem 148, that is a copy. Discharge your passengers. Terminate your train. Thanks for your service. Have a good evening.
Have a good one.
Columbus Circle for the 55.
55 Columbus Circle, that is a copy. Your next callback is 72nd Street.
Copy.
It's o'clock 50th.
650th, that is a copy. Your next callback is 66th Street, Lincoln Center.
Five
12 calling back at 149th Street Grand Concourse.
Alright, 512 149 Grand Concourse, that is a copy. Your next callback is Jackson Avenue. 519, repeat.
At 181st.
537 181st is a copy. Next callback's 215th Street. Repeat, 519.
86th Street.
519, proceed to 96.
Copy.
549 is 79.
Take it.
49 79th, proceed to 86.
531 3 train is at 28th.
525, that is fine for 34th. Your next callback is 59th Street, Columbus Circle. Be 531 at 28th Street. Your next callback's Times Square, 42nd. 518 that is a copy. Your next callback's 135th Street.
72nd for the 555.
555 72nd, that is a copy. Your next callback is your next stop, 79th Street.
Copy.
It's o'clock at 66th Street.
666, proceed to your next stop, 72nd.
Copy.
$86 for the 549.
Alright, 549 86th Street, that is a copy. Hold there for a minute until 519 gets to 96. was that?
519 is at 96.
519.96, that is a copy. Your next callback is 110.
That's 110.
549, you may proceed to 96.
Calling back at 79.
6 o'clock, 72nd.
79th for the 555, your next callback is 86.
Copy.
672nd, proceed to 79th. So, 525 through train, your callback is 59th Street, Columbus Circle.
There's the 513 through train from New Lots Avenue to 148th Street, Lennox Terminal, terminating at 148th Street, Lennox Terminal.
That is a copy 514 for Hall 148, discharging passengers. Terminate your train. Thank you for your service. Have a good evening.
This is the 502 train calling back at Gun Hill Road.
500 Gun Hill. That is a copy. Your full line to Wakefield. Call back there.
Let's go.
531 train at Joe's Black
Alright, 531 Times Square. That is a copy. Your next callback is your next stop, 50th Street.
543.
Jackson Avenue. Your next callback is Intervale Avenue.
543, 1 South Ferry to 242nd, calling back at 137 UCB College.
543, 137. That is a copy. Your next callback is 181st.
10-4.
55 is at 86.
5586, that is a copy. Proceed to caution to your next stop, 96.
549, 96.
6 o'clock, 79.
549, 96, that is a copy. Your next callback is 137th Street, City College.
Copy.
506 Intervale, your next callback is Freeman.
Six o'clock, 79.
This clock 79, proceed to 86. Five 18 to 135th, that is a copy punch for the Bronx. Your next callback is 149 Grand Concourse.
519, what was the callback?
110, 519.
Calling back at 110.
That's a copy, and there's callbacks 135th Street.
Copy for 135.
531 3 trains at 50th, doors open.
531 50th, that is a copy. Please hold. The 525s, you have to call back at 59th.
This is the 537 at 215.
537 215, that is a copy. Of full line to Van Cortlandt Park. Call back there.
555 and 96.
555 96, that is a copy. The next callback is 125th Street.
Copy that.
525 Columbus Circle, that is a copy. Your next callback is 72nd. The 531 holding at 50th. Your next callback is 66th Street, Lincoln Center.
6 o'clock, 86.
680 as a copy, and proceed to your next stop, 96.
Copy.
Intervale Avenue for the 512.
512 in Intervale, that is a copy. Your next callback is Freeman.
And 4.
506 Freeman, your next callback is East 180th. Team 149 Grand Concourse, that is a copy. Next callback is Intervale Avenue.
The clock, 96.
696, that is a copy. Your next callback is 110th Street Cathedral Parkway.
Copy.
.531 3 trees S. 66 Lincoln.
66th Street Lincoln Center, that is a copy. Your next callback is 86th Street. 525, if you didn't see your callback's 96.
This is the 519, callback after 135.
519, 135th, that is a copy. Call back at your last stop, Harley 148.
Cop 4148.
One train. The next
There's a clock. Cathedral Parkway, 6 o'clock.
Okay, the 600 at Cathedral Parkway, your next callback's 125th. The 512 at Freeman, your next callback is West Farm Square.
.543, 1 South Archer, 242nd, calling back at 181.
543, 181st, your next callback is 215.
Central.
549, 137 City College, your next callback's 181st.
Listen, 537 terminating at 242nd.
537 Van Cortlandt, that is a copy. Discharge your passengers, terminate your train. Thanks for your service, have a good evening.
502 train.